Well, hello, I'm back again. Well, it turned out that I enjoyed yesterday so much that I decided to do another one. So today, and I'm behind the camera, which actually seems like it's going to be a good idea. So I'm going to do a towel because seems like everybody in my family likes to get a towel in their stocking stuffer. So for a stocking stuffer. So this is one of the towels that I like to make. As you can see, I try to match the colors of what's in the towels. And you know, you can pick these up at Dollar Tree or anywhere and just try and match the colors up. And these are something I found on Etsy, and I got a whole bag of them. So they work out wonderful for these towel toppers. And I've been doing them for a while, and sometimes I do edging on them, but I like to try to match up buttons too. So if you find something that, you know, has just a lot of color, you can take like one color out, and then after that you can put a sparkly button on or something to match, and this happens to be a Christmas one. So I just thought, well, this will give you an idea of all the different kinds of things that you could do, you know, with ideas. So, and there's a heart button on this one. Yeah, it is kind of close to me, you're right, but I'm still working with how to do this camera setup. So I just figured, well, let's just try it, and we're gonna do a plain one today. So the materials that you're gonna need are a towel, any kind of towel, and then I seek out some kind of yarn that matches somewhere, and I'm gonna pick out this rust color today because it is a October vlog. And a lot of times people say, well, you can use scraps on these, and you can, but if you pick out something that is, say, a 3 light or doesn't have a lot of density, what happens is after a long time of using it on your stove handle, this part here will get stretched out from the stretchiness of using it. And so that's why I choose, if I can, a worsted. So this one it works out very well. It's impeccable, loops and threads impeccable. You can find it at Michael's. It's a worsted 4, 100% acrylic yarn, and you can do several towels out of one of these. It has 277 yards in it. So this is one of my favorites, and it comes in hundreds of colors. And so this one, I've used it before. I used it on this towel. So what I was gonna do was I was gonna use this yarn today, and I'm gonna make a topper for this towel. I found these at our local grocery store, and So you're going to need some scissors. You're going to need a regular hair tie. And these I got at the Dollar Tree. And I just use these hair ties. I normally use an H hook. It makes the stitches 5.millimeter. It makes the stitches just a little bit tighter so that there isn't as much stretch, in my opinion. And then of course a button. Now I would like to see one of these buttons. I have bought these before with the leaf shape. I would like to do it with a leaf shape button, but for today's tutorial I'm going to be using one of these round ones, big round ones, but you could use any kind of button. These, I have boxes of buttons that I've picked up over, you know, time. These I found at Michael's. They had brown and green and pink ones and stuff, and they're nice and big, and they're decorative, but they're plastic. And so, you know, you could pick out any kind of button. Eventually I'd like to try and put on a leaf one if I can find some more. I used them all up, so you know. So today's coffee of the day is hazelnut creamer. Or not creamer, but hazelnut coffee with hazelnut creamer. Alright, so I did have a couple requests to do some towels for the kids. So here's a set, just before we get started, here's a set that I bought at Dollar Tree the other day. It came with pot holders and a big mitt, Inspire, Dream, and Imagine. So the towels are really soft, and I'm going to be able to do them with the Just Yarn that we got at the Dollar Tree too. So just about everything in this project can be purchased at the Dollar Tree, and I just bought this one because it is a worsted and it matched the towels. So that set is going to be made for Christmas for one of the kids. So how do we start? Well, this was already started. I had used this yarn before. So now you're going to see, I'm going to start with a long tail, how I do my slip knot. So I pinch it here and I bring it through twice. Then I let it go and tighten it up. That's it. I'm going to bring it down, bring up a loop, and wrap around again and bring through both loops and make a single crochet directly on this hair tie. Then I'm going to crochet over my tail. It helps to strengthen, and so we're just going to go ahead and just keep putting single crochets on the hair tie. Just keep doing that all the way around, and it doesn't matter how many you put on here. It's a little fiddly at first, but as you get more and more of them on, it strengthens, and then you're not as fiddly. So I guess this is not so bad of a setup, but if I were to have something higher above me that I could put this ring light on, it might not be so bad. So I'm going to keep working on this setup. But as you can see, underneath the camera is a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. But hopefully you're enjoying it as much as I am, because I am just loving this. It's like I'm crocheting with somebody. It's great. And you can just keep stretching these out as many as you want to put on here. Basically, I tell you that I don't think I do the same every time I do this. Like sometimes I'll do a fancy scalloped edging, and sometimes I'll do just a plain edging. It depends on what the towel is. If the towel's really fancy, I might not want to bling it up too much. But if the towel's plain, then you might want to, like, if it's a Christmas towel, like add some white and make it look like, you know, lacy edges or something like that. So that's just a fun way to not be boring, I guess, and just do them different every time. So it doesn't take too long to fill that ring right up. And then I don't like to see, if you can, I don't like to see and don't worry about those, they'll work their way out, those bumps. See the hair tie through the yarn, so just keep putting them on there. And I didn't even count how many. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. And then when you get you know, to the point where you're happy with it, just trim that end off. It's already tied in quite well here. And then go ahead and slip stitch into your first single crochet. Yeah. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work our way up. So we're going to go this way, and we're just going to slip stitch one, or yeah, chain one. Yeah, you can tell I'm brand new at this, right? I'm not used to having to say what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets right in that same stitch. I'm going to start again because that one loosened up on me. Alright, so we're going to double crochet right in that same stitch. We're going to do it twice. And then I'm going to half double crochet across. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we started with 2 double crochets in the first one and 8 half double crochets, and then we're going to do 2 more doubles in the last one. So you should end up with 12 stitches across. Now this is just my favorite way of doing this because it makes for a very dense or tight weave, and yet you'll get a pattern. So now you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to double crochet in the end one. I'm going to half double crochet. I'm going to skip one and half double crochet in the next one. Then I'm going to half double crochet in the one that we just skipped, making an X. I'm going to go do that again. I'm going to skip one, half double crochet in the next one, and then half double crochet in the one we skipped. Then I'm going to do it again. So this is the pattern. Repeat across, half double crochet in the one we skipped, and then I'm going to do it again. Whoa. All right. So you should end up with 5 crossed half double crochets, pattern, 5 of them, and then 1 double in the last stitch. Come on now, don't lose your double loop there. Get a hold of that, and then double crochet in that last one. So you're going to end up with 2 double crochets on the edges and 5 cross stitches in the middle. And we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now this is the side that we started out on. It does not matter, they are fairly equal, but how I can tell my side is because my first row is facing me, and that's the front of your work. What I usually do is I usually do this for 14 rows. I will continue on. So this is your row 1, this is your row 2. Now you're going to start row 3. You're going to double crochet in the first one. You're going to half double crochet in the third stitch. So you're going to skip the first one. Half double crochet in the second. Go back into the one you skipped and half double crochet. You're going to half double crochet in the 5th one. Go back into there. So this is like a tutorial, I guess. Going to continue on across this row, doing the same thing, making 5 crossed double or half double crochets. And then the last stitch again, it's slanted. There's your, if you turn it this way, you can see the slant and get both loops and double crochet. That will keep your work straight on the edges. Now, meaning that when we go around for the finishing edge, we could do it in white, but for now, you're gonna do, let's see, 14. So 1, 2, you're on your 3rd row and you want 14 rows. So you're gonna do 11 more of these cross stitch rows, and I'll meet you back when I finish it. Okay, so now we're back and I have 14 rows from here, if you count them up. And they are very textured with that cross stitch. So your 15th row, you will chain 1, and you will be double crochet in the first one, and then we're going to double crochet across this time. Now here's where, whoops, I missed that. See, I missed that stitch right there. Made a space. There are 12 stitches across, so when you get the first 6 done, you're going to chain 1. And then you're going to finish out the last 6. That's going to leave a space. It's not, you don't skip one, you just chain 1. And then you continue on. So you'll have 12 double crochets on this row, row 15, with just that 1 chain space there. And don't forget to catch both of those loops on your last stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Row 16 is a single crochet row. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first 2 together. I'm going to draw up a loop in the first one, draw up a loop in the second one, and you have 3 loops on your hook, and you have just made a decrease. You're going to go ahead and single crochet across the rest of the row, making an extra one in your chain. Continue on and finish it off with the last 2 with a decrease. And that's the end of that part. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn, leaving some room to weave in the ends, and I'll be back with the edging. Alright, so this is where you can either skip and don't do an edging, or do like I'm going to do and find some scraps. Now this is a 4 medium. This is a scrap skein of yarn that I had from a baby blanket that I made, but it is a 4 medium. It's a nylon and acrylic, but it doesn't seem to be worsted as this is, but it's okay because we're just doing an edging. So I'm going to use the same H hook, and I'm going to, well, there's a knot there. I'm going to get the knot out. Yeah, and then go back into camera. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make a slip knot again by pinching, drawing through twice and slipping it up. Leave a generous amount to tie in later. Now what I do is I look to see which is the front and which is the back, and this first row that's flat and facing you was the front. When it doesn't matter though, it really does not matter. What we're going to do is we're going to end up like this. So it, you know, it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is just a simple scalloped edge, and I'm going to join down in the corner here with a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets right in that same stitch. And then in the next one I'm going to do a single, I'm going to do a single crochet. Then I'm going to do 2 doubles in the next stitch. And then I'm going to do a single in the next. And I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around the entire piece. So this is a chance for me to gab and say that I am amazed at how many people told me they enjoyed watching the vlog yesterday, that they actually sat down and crocheted with me while I was crocheting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually picked up some new subscribers, and I am just so relaxed and so excited about the fact that so many of you are so supporting. I cannot believe how fun this is. So you just keep going around, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stay with you till I get to the edging because the sides, because on the sides you're not going to see your stitches over here. And I just want you to not fear it. It's just, once you start the edges, you'll see that every other row is the same, and you can pick and choose where you place those scallops, and it's your choice to make them spread them out, or to tighten them up. I'm going as fast as I can for a moment, and I'm not going to speed up the video or anything. So we're just about done around there, and as you can see, it's very pretty and lacy, just making those little scallops. So then the last one on here will be the 2 doubles, same as the other side. It doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter. No one's going to see that you did whatever, you know, if you all right. This Baby Bliss was very tangly yarn, I gotta tell you that, in my review of this. I believe they discontinued it. I didn't see anything left. They put it on clearance, and I did buy up all that my store had and used it up in my last ooh, oh, that was a good one. Hit my knee. Used it up in my last baby blanket and stuff that I made. So what we're going to do is we're just going to find a spot and put the single crochet. And then find another spot like this spot here and put the 2 doubles. And just put them as if they were stitches along the edge. So then you just do 2 doubles. And a single. And then 2 doubles. Just find your way along, and just feel free to rip it out if it doesn't look right or you stretched it too far. And then there I'm like, okay, I'll just stay with it. And then sometimes it'll be see, and just keep going. It kind of lays that scallop down. Whoops. I really like the finished edge. And the thing about these are, you can use this if you do it plain, you know, with any towel. They can take these towels off and wash them and put a different towel on. And why I say they is because I sell these at my craft sales. Usually sell quite well. And a lot of people ask, well, what do you charge? Well, you know, you got to charge for your time. And a lot of times I will say triple your supplies. Now that doesn't mean that, you know, if you go and buy a $1 towel, versus a $3.99 or $2.99, you know, $2.99 towel that you're going to change the price. But you might, because you might say, well, this one was $5 and I'm not going to give it away. So again, it's basically what kind of tools you are using to come up with that price. Now, as you come up to the edge, you'll have to decide if you want that corner to lay over, because what'll happen is that now I'm laid over. Now I'm going to just push that tail to the back. I'm not going to crochet over it because I'm two different colors here. So now you're back into stitches, you can see. And see how it's rounded. It's rounded right off there. We can try and do that again for the other side. And then I will do the corner with you. And then I am going to come back when I'm done with the other side. I'm going to go right into the edge, that last edge piece, and then I'm going to turn it and come right down in here, and it will do a rounded edge. And it's darn close to the other side. So I hope that you are enjoying this. Again, like I said, I'm just going to finish up this side and I will meet you back here. Okay, so I'm down to the last section here, so I thought I would catch up with you. And then we have like a little, just like one more, so I think I will do one more in there. And then you're going to, you can just do it in the same one. And then you're going to figure out where your first double crochet was and just slip stitch in there. Cut your yarn so you can weave in your ends, make sure it's long enough. And now's the time when we are going to weave in our ends together. I have this little needle holder that I throw in my bag, and I usually have a couple of tapestry needles in there too in case I'm working with a bigger yarn. But today, your regular small tapestry needle is what I'm going to use or to sew these ends in. And I usually do a couple passes. Now 2 or 3 passes is preferred, and I'm going to use that as the back of the work where I started. I'm going to go under just the white and I'm going to pass it through several, probably about 8 of those double crochets. Don't pull it too tight. You don't want to change what the front looks like. And then we're going to skip the first 2 and pass it back through about 6 of those. Very carefully, do not do it too tight. And then go back and skip the first and go back again. And sometimes I split the yarn for that last section. And you're going to do that with the other piece too. Now, I won't do it for the, well, yeah, you know what? the heck with it. I always weave in my ends as soon as I'm done with something. I hate to see those ends sticking off. So we'll just go real quick and go through 7 or 8 of these. Skip the first one, go back through the last 6, split the yarn if you want to. Don't do it too tight, and then skip again. Why do I do it 3 times? Because I've had ends wash out in the past that I did not do 3 times. And then we have one brown one. Should have one of those at the top to do. And again, go down into your work that is the same color. Go across and pass it up and down a couple times. Well, sure. I'm gonna go down even farther. I'm gonna go down to these ones here that you can see, and go across my work this way. It just makes it easier. Then skip one and go back to the edge, and whoop, hit the camera. See that? Of course I put that in my mouth. Who doesn't, right? So the needle is in my mouth. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of these. Can't talk with it in my mouth very well. I'm going to take one of these handmade. It says handmade on it with hearts. And we're going to use one of those today. I wanted to use a leaf one, like I said, but we're not going to do that. So we need a piece of the pumpkin color, because you don't want, sometimes you do want to see the color different, but today I want to see the pumpkin color. So just put that button as close to the ring on the inside as you can. Now some people are going to want to spin it around, and I agree. We're going to do it from the back side. If you do it with your lace on the front like this showing, and then you close it, you have the back side. So flip it around so you're looking at the wrong side of your work. And we're going to put the button on the inside of the wrong side of the work. And we're just going to bring it up, bring the needle up, leave a tail, don't pull it all the way through, leave quite a long tail. Bring it down, and this is with the yarn, this is not thread, and it makes for the same color. I'm just going to do it twice, catch it, and there is it. Now I'm going to flip it. I'm going to make a knot. Yes, I am. Then I am going to weave in those ends again, 3 passes across. Skip the first one so it doesn't go right back where you were. It stays. Don't pull it too tight, and then back through the 3rd time. One more time. I figured that my thumbs were going to give me a problem on the camera, and they didn't. I do have a little bit of pain in my thumbs all the time. And, you know, you just grow to get used to it after a while. Hopefully that it won't get any worse than it already is. And that technically is the end of this towel topper. So now you have your towel topper ready, and you're just going to take your towel and you're going to fold it with a little pouch, and you're going to stick it in the hole, stretch that down along the towel, open it up, put it all the way to you're about halfway, and then you're going to turn the top down, and that extra large space that you made with that, you're just going to pop that over, and there you have it. The towel is done. So that's the easy way. Now I've done it 100 different ways. This one is the easiest and the fastest way that I know how to do it. Sometimes I do a loop on the top and then bring that loop around, and it's kind of cute too, but this is definitely the easiest way. You can sell these tops without the towels, and they can just buy their own towels or whatever. I am so glad that you joined me today for this video. It was a long morning, but I finished it. I am so happy. I have my very first tutorial up. Oh my goodness. Thank you all for all your support. You always are right there for me, and take a moment out of each day and be a little creative. Bye for now.